there you go.
This is Anderson Pens podcast episode 112 for Tuesday, July 15th, 2014. This is Brian.
This is Lisa.
This is the Anderson Pens Radio Network.
We are going to ink it up and talk about pens and funky filling systems. And we're not talking about my toe.
We're not going to talk about washi tape on Lisa's toe. Oh, I just I'm sorry.
Sorry. Anyway, yes, those of you who saw it on Facebook, I broke my toe getting out of bed and fixed it with washi tape. So there you go.
I'm a little disappointed.
Another use for washi tape.
I'm a little disappointed you didn't use something a little more colorful. Like the first day, it looked like it was duct tape, for heaven's sakes.
Well, I'll put something on it tomorrow with like flowers and birds.
Well, I mean, you haven't had washi tape on it in like a day, so I don't know.
Well, just a day. I'll put the one with high-heeled shoes and purses.
Okay.
I have washi tape with shoes and purses. I'll put that on tomorrow. Awesome use, people, for washi tape. Works great as medical tape. So, hey, there you go.
All right.
It came up in the chat.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway.
All right, well, there we are. So.
Yep. We're going to try and keep this short. Brian is on call, and he just got called a minute ago, so we're going to try and work in between phone calls.
Not an emergency if my boss is listening. So.
I know. Well, you got a call. It's taken care of. We're going to try and finish it up.
Okay.
So.
Anyway, we have a giveaway on Facebook.
Yes, totally enter.
We didn't even bring it with us, did we?
No.
It's a Retro 51 Tornado rollerball. I think it's one of the Retro makes a lot of neat rollerballs. The designs and patterns are very cool, and this I think is one of the neatest, one of the prettiest ones for sure. The Marlin, and it really looks like an ocean. The blue, the swirling around is very, very pretty. Retro 51 was kind enough to send us one, so we are going to give it away. So there is a giveaway tab on our Facebook page, and you can go there, and then there's a couple things you can tweet it, or you can just click a link and you get a free entry. So sign up for that. I think it ends tomorrow. We may extend it a little bit because we're just trying out the waffle copter, whatever it's called.
Brian's making fun of me. It's not waffle copter, it's raffle copter. Thank you.
All right. So anyway,
well, we've already had. Last I checked, it was close to 100 entries.
Yep.
So you definitely want to enter. It's scheduled to end tomorrow. I think it's actually scheduled to end in the middle of the Pen Club meeting, so we probably will extend it through Thursday morning, but probably no later than that. We'd love to be able to contact the winner and get this thing in the mail this week.
Yep.
It's a pretty pen.
It is a pretty pen.
Even Brian, the ballpoint hater, is like it.
It's not a ballpoint, it's a rollerball. It's a capless rollerball.
Okay, but it's not a fountain pen. And you were like, Dave, and I were all three going, ooh, I like that. Who's going to get that one?
It's neat. It's a neat pen. So Retro makes some really cool stuff. So.
They do, and in fact, we're going to talk about two new things from Retro later this evening.
Yeah.
So. We also had a phone call today, and this came up in the store the other day as well, about a couple of the different filling systems. So we thought that maybe we would just do a little bit on some of the less common or complicated to the mechanically challenged, that'd be me, filling systems that are in some of the pens that you may find out there. So Brian was going to do something to surprise me. So what are you going to do first there?
Well, let's first cover the. Now, keep in mind there's dozens and dozens and dozens of different kinds of filling systems. So this may be kind of an ongoing thing. I don't want to. We could sit here for hours. So let's not do that. But maybe once in a while we'll bring up a different filling system here or there, and we'll take a look at it real briefly. Especially during the early 1920s, um, right around the area when people are trying to move from eyedropper to self-filling pens, everybody's trying to have their own different filling system. So nowadays, most pens are cartridge converter, as most of you are aware, but some manufacturers still have a unique, or they're trying to do something unique as far as a filling system is concerned, a self-filler. So the one that came up in the store, and I believe we've showed this before, but is the Visconti Divina. And this happens to be the Desert Springs model, which is very pretty. It would actually match my shirt really well today. So maybe at the end and it's a medium nib even. So at the end of the broadcast, this may just end up in my pocket. But
no.
Anyway,
No.
the Divina has a rather interesting filling system. I'm not certain a whole lot of other people have, if any. But it was called a captive converter. So in this case, the converter, you do not unscrew the barrel to operate the converter. It's a piston converter, but the end of the barrel, here's the converter right here. You just pull it out.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
And then you just operate the piston converter just like you would normally. So
it goes counterclockwise first.
Yep.
And then to fill it, you turn it clockwise.
Clockwise, and then when you're done, you just simply push it back in, and it stays there. So, but
cool.
you can't unscrew the barrel to get at it. This is all there is. So
yeah,
it's just and the lady, actually the lady, we gave her instructions. I think she took it home, and it was a gift for her husband, and husband looked at it, and so we had to do a little over the phone.
Yep.
One-on-one. So. As long as
he was happy and everything was good, and it's a beautiful pen.
Yeah, it's really nice. It fits in my pocket real nice. So as long as we're on Visconti, and it was easy enough just to grab another pen. Let's cover this one. This one's fun, and I have this. I don't have mine handy, but this here happens to be the Opera Typhoon. But this filling system is a little interesting. It's a double, what Visconti calls a double reserve reservoir power filler. So it's got a blind cap. Now this is very much like a vacuum filler, like the Schaefer vacuum fillers of the 1940s, but it's a little different. So this pulls out, and then there's your rod there, and you put it in ink, and it's got an ink window. Now it operates just like a regular vacuum filler, so you press down until you hear that, and then you can screw it down. Now what makes this unique is this actually has two reservoirs. It's got a shallow, I should have brought the crystal, that would have been better. It's got a shallow reservoir here and then a larger reservoir on top. So you actually can release essentially ink from the top reservoir down to the bottom reservoir. If you're traveling, if you're flying, you can turn it upside down. You can put all the ink into this reservoir and then essentially lock it off. Also allows for, if you're doing a lot of writing, it gives you a little extra ink in, so if you run out, you've always got a little extra. So it's kind of an interesting system. Only one movement of the plunger is necessary. It's very powerful, and it fills it up. So that's what Visconti calls their power filler, double reservoir power filler. Now this particular pen comes with an interesting attachment. It's got this conical nib.
I love that.
That wraps all the way around the back of the feed, and then it's tough to see, but it's got a little turn upwards of the point. But it comes with this. It's called a mosquito filler. Now this is, some may argue as a gimmick, but it has its science is founded, right? So this just fits on the top of the nib. There's a little rubber gasket in there, and so what this allows you is to get that last drop of ink out of the bottle. So you don't need it all the time, but when you get to some of these bottles that are real shallow and flat, Sailor bottles, Namiki bottles, any kind of bottle that's real shallow and flat, becomes hard. Herb Gier bottles are tough. after a couple fills. So
Yep.
this really allows you to get that last fill. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, well, that just looks familiar. Well, of course it does, because Schaefer really came up with the idea first, which is probably the most over-engineered pen of all time.
Ta-da!
The Schaefer Snorkel. Now this one here happens to be an English snorkel, 14 karat gold fill. This was Clark Kent's pen, because his name is engraved on the pen. It says C. Kent. But this also has that conical nib that wraps around, and the tip rolls up towards the top. So a lot of people think that this is bent, but it's not. One of the most beautiful nibs of all time, two-tone nib, palladium mask on the front. But this pen has the built-in snorkel mechanism, so I turn the blind cap to extend the snorkel, and then pull this back, and I've got a little ink or something in here. I'm just going to try not to get on myself. And so you have your snorkel tube out, and then you can put that in the ink, and that'll get your last drop. And you push this down, and that's... Oops. Apparently I have ink in this pen. I push it down, and then it creates a vacuum, which compresses the sac, which sucks the ink in, and then you can just extend it this way. So this one comes with its own built-in mosquito filler. Of course, the classic Schaefer snorkel.
You know, we had a conversation with, was it Randy at the time? One of the engineers at Schaefer a couple years ago in Chicago.
Was it Chicago? Yeah.
And he was saying that, you know, they've looked into bringing back certain models, and they could not afford to redo the snorkel because it's so engineered.
Well,
so
you know, it's funny because they keep talking about that and about how much it would cost. And the number that I keep hearing thrown around is $500. That this pen would cost $500 to make. Well, in terms of modern pens, that's not a terrible lot of money. And I could see if Schaefer put out a pen, even if that's $500 cost, if Schaefer put out $1,000 Schaefer Snorkel limited edition, that it would sell. People would buy that. So that's just...
Is that something you're trying to tell me?
No, I don't know that I would buy it, but I mean, people would buy it. I mean, it would be cool. I'm sure they would do it right.
It would be cool, absolutely.
I'm sure they would do it right. So.
Some of the cool plastics, and yeah. But I think it was because the machinery and the engineering of it and all the different parts. You know, a cartridge converter pen is a whole lot easier, cheaper, and faster to make than all those internal pieces.
Well, you know, we could help them out. We already make the gaskets.
Very good.
We could sell them the gaskets.
There you go. Awesome. So anyway, so we just figured that we'd touch on some different filling systems since
I got one more.
What?
I got one more.
What do you mean? What kind?
I said I had 4. I got 4. This one's cool.
All right.
No one's seen this. Guaranteed.
Ever? Well, you don't have a hatchet filler.
I don't have a hatchet filler, but I guarantee there is not a single person watching this podcast tonight or in the chat that has this filling system.
All right.
I'm almost positive.
Almost positive. All right.
Well, this is the only pen.
That sounds like a challenge. Somebody, Ira, come on, help me out. Tell me you have one.
This filling system is so weird. I don't even know what the name of it is.
Well, that's educational.
Well, all right. So I'm going to hold this up there and for sorry, Wayne, but for those of you watching the podcast, if you can see this.
Oh, that's that. Yeah.
It's this one. Yeah. So I may have shown this before. Now, this is a black chased hard rubber pen. And it has this little round ball at the end of the barrel. And it's, I'm going to take the cap off here. So the filling system. Now this pen is made by Wirt.
Of course it is.
Is the only one that I'm aware of that actually made this filling system. And so what you do here is there's this little ball on this little metal loop, and I pull this out, and then you can see it's on
wire.
It's on a little wire loop, and all the ball serves is a way to grip it. And there's actually a hole, you can't tell, but there's a whole extra hole here that this wire slots into. So you pull this out, and then you just rotate this clockwise, which compresses a bar, a pressure bar, in the inside the barrel, which compresses the sac. So this is a sac filling pen. You do this a couple times, just like a lever. Then you rotate it back, push it in the hole, and you're done. Now, how is that for funky?
That's funky.
This pen happens to be this is a Wirt made R. Esterbrook Relief 314 with a Esterbrook 14 karat ventless nib with a vented feed. It's a very, very cool pen. So,
awesome.
I had to throw something vintage in there because all the really cool filling systems are vintage. I mean, Visconti's got some cool stuff, but some of the weirdest stuff was back at the turn of last century. So
that's true. Awesome.
So,
all right.
There's that. We'll bring out some more from time to time. I'll put a pile together and we'll do some.
There you go.
A couple at a time. So what else we got going on? We confirmed something today.
Speaking of funky.
As if our schedule wasn't busy enough.
Sorry, Ed. So first I need to ask a question. Hey, Steph, how do you feel about Denver?
Oh, jeez, yeah.
I confirmed today that there will be, sit down, a Denver pen show in October. It is scheduled for October 11th and 12th, Saturday and Sunday. And we will be there. We will have 5 tables. We are bringing everything, including the kitchen sink, unless Dave wants us to leave that back at the store. It is the weekend before the Detroit show.
Yep.
So one of the things that Ed has promised to have is copious amounts of coffee. That was the deal. We will go, but he's got to have coffee.
And he was bringing donuts, right?
Yeah, he was.
So 11th to 12th, it's coloradopenshow.com. It's still under development. I think.
He was going to work on the website.
He's going to work on the website.
He's signing the contract, I think, next week. The girl's on vacation, but they've hammered out the details. I believe that the hotel room, and this will be on the website, but I believe that the hotel show rate for the room at the Hilton Doubletree, is it the Hilton Doubletree? It's on the site, is $74, which is a really good price in Denver. So
that's a great price. Yeah, he doesn't have the information up here yet, but there's not much. In fact, the only other we got Ryan Krusak for sure is coming. So
and I think Pendleton.
Ryan. And Pendleton's coming. Pendleton's coming.
So.
Awesome.
So it's going to be a party.
Well, if nothing else, it's going to be you, me, Ryan, and Pendleton.
And Ed.
All our nibs will be tuned. Yeah, and Ed. All our nibs will be tuned, and we'll have a jolly time.
Yeah, it's a good location. I've been working with Ed. He's been picking our brain for a while, and he's got some great ideas. He's got some local people lined up. He's going to have a big list of assorted places to eat, things to do, places to go, so that if you bring the family or your spouse comes, there's something for the spouse to do, so you can shop. And it's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
So I think it's going to be nice. I think it's a good time of the year, October, so it's going to be maybe a little chilly, but hopefully no snow yet. And the scenery, of course, is going to be fantastic. And we're not used to driving that direction, so a change of scenery, I think, for us is going to be nice.
You know, I've never been to Denver. My brother lived in Denver for a while. He lived in several places in Colorado, and we've driven through Denver.
Yep.
We've just never. I don't even know that we ever stopped for gas.
No, we never did. Oh,
we
we did
may
once,
have-
but it was in the
we did.
mountains. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
in the mountains.
So this will be fun to be there for longer than 10 minutes to gas up and get fresh coffee or water or something.
16-hour drive. We're going to get in on Friday. Maybe if we get in early enough Friday, we'll have some time to stretch our legs and see a little bit. That'd be nice. So
I know. I actually have friends of the family in the area.
Oh.
My
Awesome.
brother's best friend and his wife and their 2 kids live there.
Well, and I've got friends that I haven't seen in years that live in
Cool.
in Aurora. So maybe
Huge party.
Yeah,
We're there. But Denver sounds like it's really shaping up to be a good show. Ed Capizzi, the organizer, is asking all the right questions, and
Yep.
he's planning to really have as much as he can. That will be activities for both attendees and vendors, and he's really put a lot of thought and effort into this. So we're excited to be a part of it.
Yep.
So that was some of our exciting news this week.
Yeah, it's kind of a last-minute decision, so I didn't really want to put any more Penn shows on the schedule, but
Yeah,
since,
we
didn't go to Miami this year, which was this past weekend. 16 hours is not bad. So
Well, that's 16 and a half before stops. It'll be like 18 or 19, but
yeah, we'll be excited though.
yeah, it'll be fun, and it'll be a whole new venue, and like we said, we've never been, so I think Denver will be fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move along real quick here.
Yep.
We got a couple new things in at the store.
We did get some cool stuff in the store and or on the site.
And yeah, I think you just planned this because now yet again I have rollerballs in my hand.
I did plan that.
You did plan that. You're a joker. That's what you are right here. So.
We were actually talking about this in the chat earlier. We got in the new Retro 51, the playing card pens.
Yeah, these are kind of cool. You got the
Yeah,
ace. You got the Joker is really kind of fun.
Your
King,
fingers
the
in the
queen.
way.
Oh, sorry. The king, the queen,
Joker.
and the jack. So there's a 5 pieces that you can get. The ace is kind of neat. King. So.
Yeah, they're very cool. They're very cool.
I'm real impressed with what Retro puts out.
And their shipping is amazingly fast. We've been very, very pleased with them so far. And we got a notice today that there is a new one coming out that we've ordered, and that should be here. It'll ship out tomorrow.
Yeah, it's a limited edition. So.
Never thought I'd hear you say the words limited edition Retro 51.
Well, you know.
It's great. Where's Hugh when we need him to mock you?
I know, right? What else you got?
We put a boatload of stuff on the website, a bunch of new stuff in the sales section, so definitely check that out.
There's a new sales section.
Bunch of stuff, all sorts of different pens. We put some ink on sale. We've got some empty bottles. We've been selling these in the store for a while now, but especially some of the Mont Blanc or the Diamine, the Iroshizuku bottles, the empty ones, we've got them up on the site. So if you wanted one of the bottles, now's your time to get them. But the Mont Blanc bottles are going pretty fast. So if you're looking for an empty one of those, now is the time to grab it.
Was it wrong for me to buy them all?
What?
I like Mont Blanc bottles.
I know. I have
them.
a couple that I kept aside.
Yeah.
But no, they're great bottles.
They're one of the best designs out there. Period. So.
Yep.
Anyway, so we got those. What else? Do we got anything else you want to show? Do you have some pens there?
Oh, I've got. I brought home a couple pens that I think don't get a whole lot of love. And, we're going through, and we're starting to get ready for DC, and Dave and I are doing inventory. We're taking everything off the shelves, going through every box, checking every nib, and I've decided that there are some pens that just are not getting the love and attention they deserve, and I haven't figured out why. So I just thought we should talk about a couple of those.
Okay.
All right. The Delta VinTouch, the Vintage Touch. It is the same plastic as the Delta Vintage.
Hang on just a second. Are you? Do we not have you on camera? Are you clicking? If you clicked on yourself.
There you go. Can you see me now?
All right, let's go.
All right, so the Delta VinTouch, and it's a stylus.
Click on yourself there.
I did click on myself.
Unclick. So, because I can't tell the difference, but.
All right.
Oh, apparently all they see is me.
Well, you're handsome. Can you see me now? I hate that. I feel like a...
There we go. Whatever you did, just leave it. Don't touch it.
I'm not touching anything. All right, so the Delta Vintage is a stylus, which is kind of cool. The VinTouch. But it's got the, the silver barrel. I just think that it is not getting the love and attention it deserves. These are great writers. It's a good look. If you don't like, the entire colored body, it's a good touch. And I'm big into the stylus right now. Stylus is big. Everything has a stylus. They're kind of cool. So the Vintage, which came before the VinTouch, also comes in several colors. I know Wayne's not here. He can't yell. The red, the blue, this green, it's hard to see, is really very pretty.
I believe that one's mine.
No. But those are really nice pens. I'm not sure why it doesn't get reviewed as often. That's what I'm referring to when I'm talking about not as much love. It just doesn't get a whole lot of press. And I don't know, maybe we should carve out an extra few minutes and do a blog pen review or something if we can find the time. But it's just really interesting. There are so many cool pens out there.
Yeah. So.
Too many pens, not enough time.
Yeah. So tomorrow we have a big event, 6 to 8 if you are local, if you're in the area. Appleton Pen Club meeting. We'll kind of meet at the store, and then we're going to go across the hallway to the boardroom, as it's called, and we'll have a meeting from 6 to 8. Bring your favorite writers. It's going to be real informal. We'll chit chat, and we'll see what happens. So tomorrow, 6 to 8, Appleton Pen Club meeting. So.
I know we've got at least a couple people planning to come out, and it's going to be just a lot of fun. It'll be the first time we've actually used this boardroom that's available to us, so it'll be fun to be in there. We see people in there all the time, and it's great that it's free. We can have the meeting, we can do whatever we want, and just be right there.
Yep.
So. Yeah.
All right. And let's see, another real quick news. The P.O. Box is going away, so if any of you have the old P.O. Box, we're having everything shipped to the store, so we don't need the P.O. Box anymore. So that is going away in the next month or so. We don't have pretty much, nothing goes there, but just in case you have it. And do you have any shout-outs this week? I think we have one.
Just a couple. It's always good to see Sue when she's up here. Sue and her husband Wayne live down south in Georgia, and they come up here to Appleton every couple months to spend some time with their son and their 3 grandsons. And it's always a lot of fun when Sue comes in. And she popped in today, and she's always got great stories and just always a big smile. So it's really, really great to see Sue when she pops in. And we had 2 ladies who, I do apologize, I didn't catch their names. 2 ladies drove from Lake Mills today, about 2 hours away, to come to see the store. And they just had such a blast. One woman was from Massachusetts, and the other was from Lake Mills, and it was just really fun to play with pens with them and get out a couple of the Watermans, a couple of the Parkers, and have a lot of fun. So
Awesome.
yeah, so those are my shout outs.
All right, anything else? We'll wrap this up.
I think we'll wrap it up before you get another phone call.
All right. Comments, suggestions for topics, use your pens. Write to us at Anderson Pens, 10 East College Avenue, Suite 112A, Appleton, Wisconsin, 54911.
Or send us an email.
Brian at AndersonPens.net.
Or Lisa at AndersonPens.net.
You follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/AndersonPens.
Check us out on Facebook. It's facebook.com/AndersonPens. And while you are on the Facebook page, register to win the giveaway pen because it's really pretty.
The blog.andersonpens.net.
And the website is AndersonPens.net.
Join our mailing list for advance notice of upcoming new products, special sales, cool stuff happening at the store. Thanks so much for listening to our podcast, and we will be back again next week. And I guess that's it. You've got the stop button this time.
I do. There you go. I have the power. You ready?
Good night, everyone.
All right. Bye, everybody. Thanks for joining us.